Welcome to She Speaks by Atleta Filipina, our conversations with Filipina champions. We want to have candid conversations with our athletes on their struggles, wins, and secrets to excellence that will inspire everyone to push limits, rise stronger, and win their own battles in life. I'm Vigo, your host. And to introduce our guest for this episode, our Philippine women's ultimate team, known as Binibinis Ultimate, has been making strides globally. They won gold in the 2024 Asia-Oceanic Beach Ultimate Championships, and the Philippines ended 2024 ranked number 12 globally and number 3 in Asia. I'm here today with teammates Cesc Trinidad and Lala Cruz. Hi everyone! Welcome to She Speaks!
Hi, B. Thank you
Hi.
for having us.
Yeah,
Hi,
so
V.
Yes, and so we are going to just kick this interview off. In She Speaks, we just like to ask like a personal anecdote question to keep things light and positive. So, what are three things in your Instagram explore feed or social media algorithm that make you happy?
For social media algorithm, I think number one would be Snoopy. Anything Snoopy. I think I come across it every time. And anything Gilmore Girls, those number one and two. And then the third one would be some random puppy dog video.
Yeah, what
You
about you, Lala?
actually, I just checked my feed and my, just to make sure. But it's mostly food. I love to eat and love to cook. I can also see that I have a lot of music. So music is such a big thing for me. It keeps me up, it keeps my energy going. And of course, there's also in my algorithm, frisbee highlights. So it's always going to be there on my feed.
I love it. Like, I also love Snoopy. Actually, my mom is a big fan of Snoopy. And yes, like the cooking videos also. So, yeah, so thank you for sharing. And now we're just going to get into the discussion. Like, congratulations again on a great 2024. Like, such a huge feat for us in the Philippines. And we just want to also get to know the team individually also. Like, how did you both start in the sport and what are your roles in the team now?
um, I guess I'll go first. So I think the Binibinis started back in 2015, when we represented the Philippines in Hong Kong for AOUGC. So it's the grass version of the Asia-Oceanic Championships. And that's when I initially started in the team as well. Um, that time, we won third, and then we've been chasing the gold for like ever since then. So yeah, that's where we started.
Yeah, what about
Okay.
you, Lala? Like, how did you get into the sport?
I guess I would say I'm pretty new to this sport compared to the likes of Cess, who's started as early as I guess ilang years na din Cess, no, in terms of playing. But I've only started 2017 as playing the sport of frisbee. I used to play softball before. And I played frisbee after college because we were like ex-athletes that, wanted to do something. I mean, did not just work. So we found frisbee as a way to, come together and just play even at night, something that you can easily play with others kasi. So, and ever since I super enjoyed it, I became more competitive and yeah, I actually got recruited to play for Sunken Pleasure, which is a mixed team. And then I guess since then, I've always been playing competitive. And in my connection with Binibinis, I actually just got to join the team last year. And it was just such an honor because I've always been playing with a mixed team, and playing with an all women's team is totally different. And at the same time, such a pleasure as well because I mean, I was surrounded with very strong and athletic female athletes. So it was a great experience then from last year. So, yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. So, did you guys also start like as a community sport or something? Like, did people just invite you? Like, and how did the team get formed into like this Philippine team?
Well, at least I believe it start. The I mean, the sport in the Philippines really started as a leisure sport. A lot of people played. I think it started in polo club and just like a few, like a handful of team, or at least you can count on your fingers the team. And then eventually, when we started the tournaments outside started, we started off with the mix. I think we are very strong mix contenders internationally. Um, and then um, and then our predecessor started doing single gender. There was a single gender tournament for the nationals. I think it started to way before we started playing. Me
Yeah.
and Lala started playing because as mentioned, Lala, we're both athletes back in college.
Yeah.
So we really just started after we graduated. Um, and then from a leisure sport, and it start when there's national tournaments, it got really competitive. Everybody started training and not just getting together during game days and just playing. So everybody just started training, and then we saw value into it, especially that the international um competition started, and we got invited. The Philippines got invited and qualified for it, and I think that's when organization started. Everybody wanted to be like, okay, we need to prepare for this. We want to be taken seriously as a country. So I think that's where it started when the national tournaments were established, and then eventually when the Philippines was invited to play in the international championships.
Yeah, and Lala, you said that you just joined Binibinis last year, right? So how did the team recruit you? Was there like an open tryout, or was it an invitational kind of thing?
So actually, it's an open tryout. Basically, what they usually do is those who are organize it or who are building the team, they check you out in terms of like when you place a tournaments. So you can, and also at the same time, you also sign up, no, if to really show if you're interested. I also messaged one of the coaches that I'm also interested in playing or in joining Binibinis for the beach tournaments because it was also my first time to play internationally in the beach setup and also to play with an all women's sport internationally. And yeah, I actually, to be honest, I've had my eye on joining the team even 2023, or when was that time, says when you guys also competed in Japan? I think 2023 ba yun?
20
2022?
19, I think
Ah, sorry,
2019.
2019, yeah.
2019,
So
right before the pandemic, yeah.
yeah, before the pandemic. So they actually competed in that same tournament in Japan, in beach. And I was really, nakasubaybay talaga ako sa journey nila. And I really wanted to join and wanted to, that specific tournament talaga because they also placed third, no, at that time. And ever since, I was really eyeing on joining the team and joining that tournament and hopefully contributing to bring home the gold medal for Binibinis. And luckily enough, we did.
Yeah, I love it. Like, especially that this is your second sport already, right? And you're representing the Philippines this time. Such an amazing feat
Such an
also.
honor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and also when it comes to your that journey in 2024, since you guys said that it was a year that there was just a lot of like highs and lows, can you just talk about that?
I think the main struggle for I think I for all our teams, our national teams, would be uh resources. Um, we're not short of talent here in the Philippines. I guarantee that. There, anywhere you go, there's any province you go, there are like really good players everywhere and qualified players everywhere. But I think what the main struggle that everybody has would be the resources to be able to actually go to the tournaments and even have the resources to train, to to stay healthy and all that. So that's something that's always the number one thing that we worry when we even plan. So okay, our roster, how do we do this? Who how are we gonna get everybody together to train? So we're not like the typical sport like basketball or volleyball, that when there's a tournament, there's an internet, like let's just say SEA Games, World Games, or Olympics, we're round the clock training. It's not like that. We all have to maintain a day job just so that we can afford to play, um in and afford to like bring everybody in one place. So um but and I think aside from that is that time, as mentioned earlier, we're all professional athletes in a sense. We have day jobs we have to think of, or other responsibilities with our families, uh with o- our own struggles, definitely personal struggles. So yeah, that was something that was really considered. That's why in our journey for the 2024 AOBUC, we only really got together, I believe, 2 weeks before the tournament. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
We had a week long boot camp in Boracay. We dropped everything and we just trained together twice a day, in intense heat. So imagine like if we had more preparation, what else can we do, right? So yeah, that was the main struggle that we have.
Yeah, and so all of you, what is the age range or mix of the team also? As you said that people have day jobs, or are there people still in school? Ganun ba?
Yes, yes. So we have teammates who were actually just accepted in med school at the time. So they're still gonna be studying. Some are still in college. Just took some time off, or at least requested for a leave of absence. Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Lala? Like maybe you could talk about like the highs naman of and the achievements that you had in 2024.
Okay, the highs. Well, of course, getting into the Binibinis lineup, I think that's actually it's an honor as well because um, if you look at the lineup, I mean, right now in general, the frisbee community, or the frisbee landscape, the level of skill of our players are just elevating so fast, and the competition of getting into the Philippine team isn't it's not easy. It walang rock star treatment or anything. I think that's one. And then I guess in my personal struggle, it's the preparation in terms of having your own prep, because it's not just showing up to the trainings, but it's actually being able to perform and prepare to actually to be physically prepared to go through the morning and the afternoon trainings, because it's no joke. I mean, if you're not there, I know training is for preparation of the tournament, but there's also a preparation for the training in order to, keep up with everyone. I think that's also something that, you have to make time for. Like I was working, I'm still working, but I had to, set aside a certain amount of time in, working out every 6 times a week, and in order to prepare and to actually to perform at my best, even just in the training, not even in the tournament yet. So that's something that was one of my struggles, juggling my corporate work and my workouts. And I guess, it boils down to, being able to manage it and prioritize. So I think that was one of my main struggles, in making the time, because as what Cess mentioned earlier, it's like a 2 week, even 2 week training, or even a month nga dapat eh. But based on what you can commit, I mean, there's no pressure as well, but you just have to make sure that when you're there, you really show up, you really listen, you adapt, you give your 110%, because sayang eh, everybody's there already. People coming from different regions, taking time off from their kids, their responsibilities at home, if they're taking care of someone. Everybody really gave their time and effort, and I think that's what we all felt then. Like we all had a role and we all had a mission. And yeah, parang it's just great that everybody came together and had the same mindset as everyone else in the island. Yeah.
Yeah. What about the gold medal winning tournament? That can you talk about, like, how was it nerve wracking? Was it so thrilling when you guys made it to the semifinals, the finals? Like, we wanna also know, like, what were the thoughts and the feelings of the team back then?
Mhm. Um, let's see. I wasn't nervous, Char. No. It was very nerve-wracking. I think it was very nerve-wracking because, you know, the lineup of teams, you really don't know, who you're gonna go against with, or like which type of player you're going against with. You have Australia, who's 10 times higher, but they're bigger than us. So grabbing strides of like when they run, like, wait lang. So that's one. And then we also have Japan team, who is very efficient, very quick on their feet, with another set of, skills that, we can't really get copy, and we also have Korea, they also have different types of strategies on the field. So it was very nerve-wracking, but I think what kept us strong and what kept us composed is, the feeling of everybody has each other's back. Whether, let's say, you'd make a mistake during the point, you know that somebody will talk to you, set you aside, if you need help on anything, need clarifications, your coaches are there, your teammates are there. I think that was the number one factor that helped us get through the nerve-wracking moments, that everybody was cheering each other on. Everybody was always on their feet, helping on the sideline. Yeah, and I think the nerves weren't there because everybody just, was able to help us let that out, let that go, and just perform. So I don't know what it says, but yeah, that's how I felt.
Um, Uh, I agree with Lala. I think the number one thing that got us through the tournament, regardless of, let's just say, individual nerves or doubts, I or even during the game when you make a mistake, something that usually messes with your head. But what really brought us to like a sweep and like just winning each and every game was that we trusted our the process. We trusted our training, we trusted our system, and most especially, we trusted each other. We listened to our coaches. We listened to each other, and no matter what mistakes we make a mistake, we go back to our system, and then having that structure, I think that really helped us push forward for the goal, and get over all the nerves and all the mind the mind games in our head. So that really helped us a lot.
Yeah, like I super agree also that I think when we trust the process, it's like there's no pressure, then there's like just so much peace that you could just like, okay, like no matter what, win or lose, like we're still good, we're still great, and we're proud of like where we are now, right? So yeah, now we'll also get into the Atleta insider question. So we want to go behind the scenes and just know what it's like also inside the locker room. So the question for you guys is like just can you just talk about like the team's culture? I think like there were just some glimpses of it, but then we also want to get to know the ultimate team, of course, that what who are you guys? What kind of a mix are you guys? And like what do you guys even do for fun?
Um, uh, So the team, specifically for the team last year, I think it's a very diverse set of women, and well represented in a lot of regions. So we have girls from Manila, we have girls from Mindanao and Visayas. So it was a really good mix of players, with different personalities. But I think what we all had in common is that we all love the sport. And when we had our boot camp, and something that something that we all have in common is that while we're competitive, we know how to have fun while being competitive. So one of our rest days, we played we played volleyball, we played beach volleyball, and then we played
Spike
net
ball.
yeah, spike ball. There's
Also,
spike.
yeah.
Yeah, we made a competition out of it, and without ripping each other's heads off. So we were just like really having fun, and in between games, in between trainings, uh, we take rests together. We eat together. Uh, and then during the tournament, I think people had their task, cooking together, and then doing groceries together. And I think that that really helped in the team camaraderie, and I think that's something that you live elsewhere, but we like the same thing, and I think that that really spoke volumes in how we formed our team chemistry.
Yeah. Are there any favorite places in Boracay? Because I think I've been hearing that you guys are training there, competing there. Maybe you'd want to share some to the viewers and listeners.
What's the is it in Station 3? Tama ba, says the where we train? Yeah. So Station 3 is actually, I think it's not a, what do you call this? Not a lot of people go there, no. I think that's why we also train there, because I mean we needed the space, but it's something it's a an area that if you really want peace and quiet and like not a lot of tourists, it's also something you should go to. I mean, people usually go to Station 1 or Station 2. So if you go to Station 3 in Jude, the hotel, that area, what's the
Ahana, ito yung Ahana.
yeah, or Everidge, yeah.
Yeah,
So
average.
that,
Yeah,
yeah,
average.
Everidge. Parang, that's something that you guys should also discover. I mean, you see some flying discs though, but then, if you really want like some peace and quiet, not a lot of, banana boats going around or something. It's just a nice place to chill in. So I mean, parang people can explore the whole of Boracay. You guys should go to Station 3 as well. You can also play with us if you guys see
Yeah.
us there.
And I think
Yeah.
if you're a dog lover, Everett is your place to go. They have
Yes.
and dogs and even cats. So
Yeah, all the animals.
that's where we stayed for most of our camps and most of our boot camps every year. Every time we have training there, we stay in Everett. Really, really quiet place. The owners and the managers there are really accommodating. So if that's something that's you want to go to Boracay during Boracay, but then you want peace, go there. I think it's a place to go.
Yeah, now there is labor rakai for those who don't want the labor rakai feels, right? That's so amazing. This season is made possible by Dove Philippines and Sing Life Philippines. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you stay updated when we upload new videos. So we want to dive deeper also into the state of women's sports in Ultimate. So yeah, can you just talk more about it, like about women playing Ultimate and like are there any challenges and even like highlights in being one?
Well, okay, I can first. So when I started, there was even like so the ratio kasi in frisbee parang before it was like 5 boys, 2 girls lang, or even so four boys and 3 girls. So that's usually there's a ratio when it comes to mix, no. I just wanted to start up from there because majority of the time it was mixed tournaments. There are not a lot of single gender tournaments, only zero, one or two, which is like the nationals na. So you can really see na at that time, mga 2017, 2018, there's really a few slots first for female athletes to play on the field. And of course, as it grew, there was a new setup in terms of ratio, in terms of the rules, and it became, I think, ABBA, no, tama says ABBA yung setup, and it became 3 boys and 4 girls for 1 point, and then the next point it will be 4 boys and 3 girls. So that's, I guess, how it was simply put, no, and then alternate yung ratio. So you can really tell that, having four strong female athletes on the field is also a big factor. I remember also my experience, hindi ako napapasahan. Like, I don't get to touch the disc sometimes. It's usually the boys who play, no? That's talagang pisikalan talaga. And when the new rule came that, more girls on the field, like four girls, 3 boys, the girls now have a bigger role and a bigger role in the play and scoring or defending. And at that time, I think was that 2019 ba yung nag-start? But around 2019 to 2021, I skipped the pandemic. We then got more tournaments also for single gender. It's not just the nationals, there are also mga pocket tournaments. I know in Dumaguete, there's a lot of single gender tournaments. And yeah, I think that's where it all started, no? When the rules change and now girls had to step up also. And you can really see the difference. Parang ako, I would say talaga na parang shocks, parang if the girls don't step up, it makes a big difference in terms of the turnout of the game. And it's a good thing, parang the pressure is also on the girls. If you think na parang, okay, the 3 guys can just play it. The 3 guys can just do the work. No, if let's say, okay, they're the ones playing, I'm gonna help out and actually defend, or I'm actually gonna help out and make a play, since they underestimate me. So that's, I think, the simplest way to explain how the evolution of, girls making or becoming a big role into frisbee. And it's great because, we see that more young girls are coming into, um, you know, being able to hold the disc or being able to make a play. I mean, as young as high school and college, and that's a great opportunity. And it's a great way to open up the opportunity for more girls to join in, to not be afraid, to be competitive, to not be afraid to touch the disc and make a play. So yeah, I know what you said.
Yes, I totally
Um,
understand what you're saying also, Lala, because I think like you get to even build your skills as a athlete also kasi yun din yung I also had the experience of yung hindi ka napapasahan, then suddenly it's like, oh, like now that it's passed to me, like what do I do with it, right? So at least like you're able to like really build your skills also. And Sass, you wanted to add anything?
Um, yeah, I think there's also a big change in how training goes. I mean the how mixed teams prepare, given that there's like different ratio already during the game, that it changes to 4 girls and 3 guys. So there's a different way on how teams prepare their players. So there's a shift on how the team leads put emphasis, or even like bringing more confidence to their female counterparts in the team. So that's really something, the attitude of the leaders within the community, may it be team captains or coaches, how they put their trust in women. It really we've seen a boost this past few years because of that rule change. And then I think another thing is that, the support of local organizers, really pushing for single gender tournaments. Let's just say the start of the year, we have several ones. They support the national, leading up to single gender nationals. You'll have, before you only have one tournament at single gender. Now there's like 5 single gender tournaments before the nationals. So it gives a venue for female athletes to really train and to build their confidence, each and every tournament leading up to the bigger one, the biggest one. So I think it's a very collective effort by the community, supporting each other, making providing opportunities for women sport to really to be successful and ultimate.
Yeah, so how are you also helping the sport, like in you girls individually, how are you helping this develop, how are you helping the sport in the development for girls, and even for like maybe preparing for the SEA Games also?
Um, SEA Games, I think SEA Games this year is going to be a mixed tournament. As I'm gonna be putting my other hat on, part of the PFDA board. What we're doing now is really try completing the pool of players that we need for all the tournaments that we have lined up. This year is gonna be crazy busy. We have our youth team going to Spain this coming June for the under 24 championships, and then there's um the Asia-Oceanic Grass Tournament on September. Then there's gonna be World Beach Ultimate Championship in November, and then December is SEA Games. So there's a lot of preparation that's going into here. So right now we're just finalizing the pool of players, and then we'll get the coaches on board to finalize those rosters that we have, the rosters for each and every tournament, just so that we can already start preparing for trainings, boot camps, and all that. So that's one thing. Personally, how we're doing that is that, we're giving as much support to the teams. Like for now, it's the U24 team. We're giving as much support, guidance on the back end, because they're all young, they're all still in college, and if they ask for help, a little nudge, we try to help them, maybe in a fundraiser type, or if they have training, and then they need someone to play with, we go to those trainings, or we have people, you know try to go there to help them train and help them get better.
Yeah, Lala, do you want to add anything?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm as an athlete na lang or as a teammate, currently naman because currently actually injured. I just came from an operation, and so I'm already 1 month in, and I can't play yet, but I'm getting there. So I guess what I currently am doing in terms of helping out into the community and other players as well is every Tuesdays kasi we have a um, training in Circulo de Verde, and I recently went there to help out one of my home teams, which is SP team, and we go against actually the U24 players, and sometimes we also have other female athletes who join in our training, and so I recently discovered, I guess, the joy of teaching other players or giving them tips. Masaya pala hindi mapagod, char. But it's just fun to just like, give them pointers. And as you know, as an outsider, it's just it's you can easily see it, and as them playing they won't get to see it then, and I think it's helpful, just the little things, and I think that's what how I'm helping myself as well, no, na hindi ko sinasayangan yung time ko. Even if I'm not physically playing, I can actually still contribute. So yeah, I mean, I think for all those who are also, let's say, maybe retired or like who are also going through the same thing, it's just so fun to give pointers and to help others, develop other skills. And it's great pa nga that, these players, they're listening. Means that, you're actually saying the right thing. But yeah, I think that's just where I am right now, trying to share all my knowledge, all that my experiences, in order for other players to, progress in their ultimate skills.
I love it. So you're also wearing another dual hat like Cess, and as women, we do wear multiple hats because we you also have your day jobs. You're a national athlete. So what makes representing the Philippines so worth it, despite all these like juggling and integration of hats?
Sige. Okay. So I think, I mean, making it all worth it. I think so. I guess on my end, um, personally, I've been playing in a sport that isn't the mainstream sport. It's not basketball, it's not volleyball. Softball is also something that's not very popular here in the Philippines. It's not really well supported. So it's, I guess, that feeling of like the underdog type. And I think that's what's great about representing the Philippines. No, not everybody. I mean, a lot of people underestimate us, and it's just great to prove them wrong. I mean, even if in this sport, no, or even if, let's say, it's not the mainstream for sport, but the fact that we can actually call ourselves one of the best in this field is already a privilege. And being part of that and being able to make history in the sport, no. And I think a second pointer is being able to inspire others. I think not just playing for the Philippines is, it's not just about winning the gold medal, even if you don't win it or not, no. It's really, when you're part of the Philippine team, I guess all eyes are on you. And you have to represent also what it means to be a national athlete, and it's a great role, and the pressure also, to really act how professional athletes are, and hopefully it inspires others, and it also helps people to ideally copy me in a way na, okay, it should be like you should have good spirit, you should be able to have the right mindset, be able to work well with your teammates. I mean, that's the standard, and hopefully by just being part of the Philippine team and being able to show that on the world stage or on the big screen, something hopefully can inspire others as well.
Yeah, I mean, same sentiments as Lala. I mean, um, same as her, I've been like a athlete as long as I can remember. Competitive since what, 10 years old or so. And uh, I think if I speak for also for Lala, if you've been an athlete for that long, I mean, like organized and structured, you're in varsity, through and through, that's that's always going to be one of your main goals, to be to represent the Philippines in your sport. And while I didn't get to do that in my sport because I'm a basketball player and a football player. uh I was able to achieve that in ultimate, and I think all my experiences from when I was in college and high school and all that really helped me, um physically, and mentally as well. So there's a level type of there's certain level of responsibility when you're a national athlete. Tama si Lala when she says na, you have to be worthy of being a national athlete, not just skill wise, but also how you represent yourself. Because how you represent yourself is how you represent your country when you're
Yeah.
outside, when you're competing outside, right? So your work ethic, your, how you introduce yourself and how you like act around people. If bastos ka, everybody's gonna think bastos ang Philippines. So there's a really certain type of responsibilities, and you have to live up with that. And there's a lot of pressure to that, but at the same time, it helps. What I really love about it, it pushes me to be better, a better person, a better teammate, a better player, to my coach, to my teammates, and all that. So yeah.
Aw, I love it. That's so sweet. And now we are going to the fun part of our interview. So it is the Atleta Filipina Rapid Fire, where we're going to pull out some random questions, surprise questions for you guys. So let's pick one here. So it says, if your sports journey had a soundtrack, what would the theme song be? The first thing on your mind.
Start from the bottom while we're here.
Um, first thing on my the first thing on my mind was like the one of Ed Sheeran. When my legs don't work like they used to.
Oh
Joke
gosh,
lang.
signs of aging, right?
Pang ano na yan,
Signs of
halatang
aging.
halatang ano na, masters.
I know. I'm getting old. But
Yeah.
sorry. Jokes aside, I think the initial one is like, of course, I think very basic, but the one that really pumps me up is like Stronger of Kanye West. Like I think I play it all the time in our boot camps when we're gonna train or when we're gonna warm up, and it's just gonna like rah. It's just gonna let my like giggle out, no. And I think that's what sports does to me in general, no. It brings out the competitive side of me, and what's great about it, it makes me stronger, not just physically but mentally talaga. So yeah, that's my song of choice.
Yeah, that's the that it
Mandy.
does something to your soul.
Sorry.
Yes, okay, one more. What's this? What's one moment in your career where you felt like you were breaking barriers for women in sports? Just you talked about it, maybe just like a short one sentence.
For me, I'll start. I guess for me, we were invited for the first, in the first, uh, PSC, All Women's Awards, and the Binibinis was one of the recognized teams at the time. That was last year, and again, this year we were also invited. So that's on March 15. We're part of the PSC All Women's Awards. So
Love it. What about you, Lala?
I think I think in general lang naman, I mean, of course, that comes with it, no, yung, for me, it's just winning the AOUBC tournament last year. And I think in history, no, in Binibinis, it's the first gold medal. Correct me if I'm wrong, no? And it just really brings me back of like all those players who really, the years that they've tried to win the gold medal. And it's just parang finally we brought it home for everyone. And it's just a great start for female athletes to bring home another gold medal ideally in the next coming years.
Yes, I love it. So thank you for answering like our very rapid fire questions. Super enjoyed that, especially the soundtrack. So just to wrap up our episode of She Speaks, we just wanna hear just an encouragement from both of you to our listeners and viewers.
For me, if you have a dream, just keep going. Work, nothing is ever handed to you, but then you just have to keep working, keep grinding, keep working, and you'll get to where you want to be.
Yeah, I agree with Cess. I love that as well. Also, I think in terms of your passion, no money can pay for it. No, nothing can, replace it. I mean, we do it because we're passionate about it. We don't get paid for this. We spend on our money, and that's okay because we love this sport. We love what we're doing. And if you're passionate about something, I say go for it. Parang don't ever think na it's not worth it because it's something that you love and that's good enough already.
Oh, thank you so much, Sas Lala. That was so inspiring. And just to thank you also on behalf of the Atleta Filipina team that you guys are just making history. Like, I'm sure everyone who hears and listens to this will just really see the amount of like effort and sacrifices you put to representing the country and also for women in ultimate. So thank you for joining us today. Follow us at Atleta Filipina on our social media accounts to catch more She Speaks episodes and our features on Filipina athletes. Again, this season is made possible by Dove Philippines and Sing Life Philippines. And I'm Bigo, your host. Thank you for tuning in.